It's important to maintain a three-point contact while climbing on or off the machine. For comfort during a long day's work, the seat has many adjustments to fit your body. The weight and height adjustment provides for a smooth ride. With the engine start switch in the on position, height is adjusted on the air ride seat with the button in front. Press the one side of the switch to raise the seat. Press the other side to lower the height. The lever to the side adjusts the seat dampening. The lower the setting, the stiffer the ride. Raising the front lever releases the seat for fore and aft adjustment for leg length. The seat back angle can be adjusted to provide additional comfort. Plus, there is lumbar support adjustment. The left armrest and on this unit, joystick steering control, can easily be lowered and raised. The joystick armrest has several spring-loaded adjustment levers to position the rest for the comfort of the operator. The operation of the joystick steering will be explained later in this section. The right armrest can also be adjusted to provide you with a comfortable, stable rest while operating the loader controls. A retractable seatbelt comfortably and securely holds you in the seat. In the event of an overturn, that's where you want to stay. For these reasons, the seatbelt should always be kept in proper working order. Be aware of its condition and replace when necessary at least every 3 years, regardless of appearance. Before operating any machine, you need to become familiar with the operating controls and instrumentation. Many of the machine's controls and indicators are located on the monitor. When the engine start switch is pressed and held a second time, the engine will start. On the monitor, you have gauges showing coolant temperature, hydraulic oil temperature, transmission temperature, engine oil pressure, and at the bottom left, fuel level. On units with final Tier 4 engines, a gauge for the diesel exhaust fluid tank level is also displayed. Also on the left, it shows vehicle speed, engine RPM, gear selection, and direction. In the upper left corner, the display shows either the hour meter, the odometer, ambient temperature, or fuel use per hour. In the center is the category and load counter. A switch to the right allows the operator to manually set different material categories and also count the number of trucks loaded. Refer to the operator's manual for details. The top right of the display shows the truck weight if the unit is equipped with the optional embedded payload scale. For details about that system, refer to the operator's manual or view the embedded payload scale section of this DVD. The digital display is used to access the machine settings mode to customize the machine, and the diagnostic mode to help troubleshoot machine malfunctions. The machine may be equipped with a rear-view camera and radar object detection system. The camera view can be accessed by pressing the top left button on the monitor. The camera can be set to display all the time or automatically when in reverse or when an object is detected behind the machine. Rear object detection alerts the operator to objects behind the machine with an audible alarm. Increasing frequency in the alarm lets the operator know that the object is getting closer to the machine. Pressing the engine start switch once turns on the ignition power and bulb checks the indicators along the bottom of the monitor. Let's freeze the picture to see what is shown. From left to right, you have the left turn signal indicator, engine heater indicator if equipped, joystick steering enabled indicator, red stoplight, yellow caution light, park brake on indicator, low brake pressure indicator, and right turn signal indicator. On later model loaders with interim Tier 4 and final Tier 4 engines, the yellow caution light has been replaced with the exhaust filter cleaning indicator. There are other indicators that may appear at the bottom of the display screen. These include ride control if equipped, lock-up torque converter if equipped, rear axle disconnect if equipped, radar object detection system if equipped, pin disconnect indicator if equipped, check engine, transmission fault, low battery voltage, and filter restriction. On later K-Series models, the icons were modified to include the tire pressure monitoring system indicator if equipped instead of the axle disconnect, and the caution indicator. The stop and caution indicators in association with the system indicator lights and gauges will alert you of potential problems. If the red stop indicator flashes and the alarm sounds, stop immediately and investigate the cause. During operation, if the yellow caution service required indicator light comes on, a problem is developing. It's not necessary to stop the engine, but the cause should be investigated as soon as possible. Floor controls include the accelerator pedal, brake pedals, and differential lock switch. The pedal to the left of the steering column allows angling of the column for operator comfort and for moving the column out of the way when exiting and entering the machine. Also in front of you are the transmission controls on most models. The F&R lever lets you easily shuttle between forward, neutral, and reverse. Rotating the lever lets you manually select first, second, third, or D. D indicates maximum gear and can be fourth or fifth gear depending on transmission options. Or in automatic, the transmission will automatically shift through the gears to the top gear set on the lever. On early K-Series models, the F&R lever can be locked into the neutral position. This feature is not found in later models. Neutral start protection is an important piece of safety equipment designed into the K-Series. If the engine is started with the lever in the forward or reverse position, it must be cycled through neutral before it will move. Caution: if the machine ever sees neutral with the key on, the machine can move once the park brake is released. The horn is located in the middle of the steering wheel. On the right side of the steering column, you have the control for the turn signals. Move the switch up to activate the left turn signal and down to activate the right turn signal. The loader control levers are conveniently located for low-effort short throw operation. This unit is equipped with 2 lever controls. Forward and backward movement of the right lever controls boom raise and lower. Forward and rearward movement of the left lever controls the bucket. On top of the bucket lever is the quick shift control. If the operator selects the down-only function on the monitor, the transmission shifts down 1 gear at a time with each push. This is helpful when the operator wants to quickly downshift, such as in this situation where the operator needs to slow from roading before coming into the pile to load. The quick shift down-up mode can be selected to shift down 1 gear, then return to the previous gear with consecutive pushes of the button. This is used for precise manual control of the transmission under changing load conditions. A single lever loader control is also available. Forward and backward movement of the lever controls boom raise and lower. Left and right movement controls bucket dump and curl. Additional hydraulic levers may be present for optional auxiliary control. The single lever has an F&R switch to control the transmission. There are 3 buttons on top of the single lever. Pushing the right button increases the transmission gear or raises the top speed in automatic. Pressing the left button decreases the gear or lowers the top speed in automatic. The front button is used for the down-only or down-up quick shifts as explained earlier. The sealed switch module, or touchpad on the right, includes controls for many features in one convenient location. Some switches may not be activated depending on how the machine is configured. There is a legend above the switch pad. The pad is also used for security. It can be configured with up to 10 different security PIN codes. To start the machine, the operator must enter a proper code using the inset numbers on the pad. The top left switch on the pad is used to turn on the ignition and start the engine. Press the switch once for ignition electrical power. Press and hold the switch for engine start. The red switch is the engine stop. This switch stops the engine, turns off all electrical circuits, and automatically sets the park brake. Next is the beacon switch if equipped. The beacon is on if the light is illuminated and off if it's not. The four-way flashers are turned on and off with the next switch. The far right red switch is the pilot enable boom down switch. When the light is illuminated with the engine running, the loader controls are active. When the switch is pressed and released again, the light goes out, indicating that the loader controls are deactivated. The loader control should be deactivated any time you leave the operator's seat with the engine running. With the engine off, this switch allows the operator to lower the boom if it is raised. Press the ignition switch to on, then press and hold the boom down switch while activating the boom down lever. Hydraulic pressure from an accumulator is used to activate the pilot controller and move the boom to the ground. To release the park brake, simply press and release the park brake switch with the transmission in neutral and the engine running. To apply the park brake, press and hold the switch until the light illuminates. When the park brake is applied, not only is the brake set, but the transmission is automatically disengaged. On the 644K hybrid, releasing the park brake also automatically raises the engine RPM to operating speed. The accelerator pedal replaces the throttle pedal and controls machine ground speed and drive torque instead of engine RPMs. If an attempt is made to move the machine in either direction with the park brake on, the loader will not move. Since it won't move, the park brake is not damaged by trying to drive away with it on. When the park brake is released, the brake is disengaged and the transmission may now be activated. If engine power is lost while the loader is moving, the park brake will not automatically engage until the unit comes to a stop, as long as the ignition remains on. Anytime the ignition is turned off, the park brake will automatically apply. If the machine is moving at the time, it will come to an abrupt halt. The loader is equipped with a return to dig feature that returns the front attachment to a set angle. Pressing the button turns on the system. The left light indicates that the system is on for a Z-bar linkage. The parallel configured models have a second setting. Pressing the button again sets the system for an attachment such as forks. By pulling the bucket lever rearward into the detent or to the left detent with a single lever control, the bucket returns to a preset dig position. On Z-bar models, the return to dig is set manually. Refer to the operator's manual for details. On parallel models, the return to dig setting is adjusted by following the directions in the monitor. With the proper attachment illuminated, press and hold the button until you hear a beep. The monitor displays on-screen instructions. Set the bucket or forks to the desired angle and lower it to the ground. Press the button again. Raise the boom without moving the bucket or forks to maximum height. Press the button again. And again, without moving the bucket or forks control, lower the attachment to the ground. Push the return to dig button a final time to complete the calibration. The next button on the touchpad controls the automatic transmission mode. With the left light illuminated, it is set to 1D. In automatic 1D mode, the machine starts in second gear and shifts up to the selected top gear as speed increases. The machine shifts down as the load increases and speed decreases, including to first gear if necessary. In automatic 2D mode, the machine also starts in second gear and automatically shifts up or down as required, but not any lower than second gear. With the lights off, the transmission is in manual mode. The transmission mode is indicated in the monitor. The right control switch, if equipped, has two modes. With the left light illuminated, it is on 100% of the time. A hydraulic accumulator is activated in the loader boom cylinder circuit to smooth out bumps for improved mobility. With two lights illuminated, ride control automatically activates whenever ground speed reaches an operator predetermined speed. The speed can be set anywhere from 2 to 15 miles per hour. Refer to the operator's manual for details about setting. Ride control automatically turns off when the loader travels below the preset speed. Note, ride control should not be used during digging or loading operations where precise control of the loader bucket is needed. Also on the touchpad is the clutch cutoff feature for the service brake pedals. With the system on, when the brake pedal is depressed, the transmission shifts to neutral before the brakes are applied. This allows the operator to maintain high engine speed for adequate hydraulic flow without fighting forward motion with the brakes. Pressing the brake down farther will apply the brakes. There are three settings. The more lights illuminated, the more pressure is needed on the brake pedal to shift the transmission to neutral. When no lights are illuminated, the system is off. The 644K Hybrid replaces the clutch cutoff feature with coast control. Coast control allows the operator to select the level of deceleration applied by the electric drive system as the accelerator pedal is let off. There are four settings. With no lights illuminated, the transmission reacts like a torque converter. To illustrate, a 644K torque converter unit begins coasting at the orange cone on the right. The 644K Hybrid with no lights illuminated begins coasting at the same cone. As you can see, it stops at the same point as the torque converter unit. Pressing the switch will illuminate the LEDs and increase the deceleration. Notice that the hybrid unit stops shorter as marked by the cones. The fastest deceleration is with three lights illuminated, so the loader has the feel of a hydrostatic system. Used properly, this will minimize the use of the service brakes during normal operation. Another control on the switch pad is boom height kickout. With this switch on, pulling the boom lever back into the detent raises the boom to a preset height. This adds to convenient operation when loading trucks or hoppers of identical height. It increases operator productivity while reducing fatigue. To set the boom height kickout, press and release the switch until the light is illuminated. Raise the boom to the desired level. Press and hold the boom height kickout switch for a few seconds until you hear a beep. The boom height kickout is now set. Next is the return to carry switch. Pressing the return to carry switch to illuminate the light will activate the feature. Pushing the boom lever forward into detent allows the boom to lower and automatically stop at a preset height. This function is intended for use only with an empty bucket to return the boom to a carry position after dumping the load from the bucket. This allows the operator to concentrate on driving rather than on boom and attachment carry positions. Setting the return to carry position is the same procedure as setting boom height kickout. First, set the bucket to the desired carry height. Press and hold the button until it beeps. Note, for the system to function properly, the return to carry must be set at a lower position than the boom height kickout setting. When the return to carry switch is disengaged, or the attachment is lower than the carry setting, pushing the lever forward into the detent places the boom in the float position. This allows the bucket to follow the contour of the ground for backdragging. The next button on the touchpad activates the automatic differential lock feature if equipped. The auto diff lock uses radar sensors to detect wheel slip. When it does, the differential lock is automatically applied on the front or front and rear axles. Whether activated or not, the operator can always step on the foot switch to engage the lock. The next switch is spin control. Spin control is used to help reduce wheel spin when crowding a pile. Many operators prefer to reduce wheel spin in loading operations. When spin control is activated, the engine reduces speed to reduce wheel spin when the hydraulic system pressure rises. The higher the spin control setting, the larger amount of speed reduction. The 644K Hybrid replaces spin control with rim pull control. Both features limit wheel spin and extend tire life. The Hybrid uses the electric drive system to limit the torque applied to the wheels without reducing engine speed. Next is the bucket pin disconnect switch for units equipped with a quick coupler. Press and hold the switch for 2 seconds to retract cylinders for the removal of attachments. The light will remain illuminated and the pin disconnect indicator will light, and the audible alarm will activate every 10 seconds. Press and release the switch to extend the cylinders to lock the attachment in place. The light will go out when the pins are extended. Be sure to check that the pins are locked in place before using the front attachment. This is the air conditioning switch. If the light is illuminated, the air conditioning is on. Note that the engine must be running and the blower fan speed switch must be on for the air conditioning to function. The machine may be equipped with heated mirrors that eliminate ice and fog in inclement weather conditions. Press the front washer switch to wash the front window. This will also activate low-speed front wiper operation. After releasing the front washer switch, the wiper blade will swipe 3 times and automatically turn off. The front wiper switch activates the front wiper control. The left light is for intermittent front wiper. 2 lights indicate low-speed front wiper. 3 lights indicate high-speed front wiper. With no lights, the wiper is off. The drive light switch is to the right. The marker lights are on with 1 light illuminated. With 2 lights illuminated, the drive lights are on in addition to the marker lights. Press and release the switch to turn off the lights. The lock-up torque converter, if equipped, provides an automatic locking of the torque converter for excellent productivity and efficiency during ramp climb and transport applications. Rear axle disconnect, if equipped, disconnects the rear driveline during transport applications to minimize fuel consumption and wear and tear on the tires and powertrain. The transmission must be in neutral and the park brake applied to engage and disengage the rear axle disconnect. The 644K hybrid does not utilize a torque converter transmission or an axle disconnect feature. So these switch positions are used for engine speed control during operation. This allows the operator to select specific engine speeds for precise loader applications. Rear washer and wiper functions are the next switches on the pad. They operate the same as the front washer and wiper. The cab work light switch is at the bottom right. With one light illuminated, the front lights are on. Another press turns on the front and rear lights. 3 lights activate additional rear lights if equipped on large loaders. One more press turns off all the work lights. Farther to the right is a cup holder. Below that are the fan and temperature controls for the heater and air conditioner. Below is the on-off switch for the heated seat if equipped. A 12-volt outlet is located on the back side of the right post. To the right rear, you have access to the electrical center and fuses by removing this cover. A legend is printed on the inside of the fuse box cover. Above the operator in the headliner is the radio if equipped. To the right is the dome light. In front are 2 interior mirrors and an adjustable sunshade. Across the top of the front console are the defroster louvers for the windows. To the left is a place to store a fire extinguisher if equipped. To the left of the seat are a cup holder, thermos holder, and storage area. As seen earlier, many models of the K-Series can be equipped with a single-lever joystick for controlling the steering and transmission. To activate, the armrest needs to be in the down position with the engine running, the unit stopped, and the park brake off. Press and hold the rocker switch until the monitor beeps. An icon on the monitor will appear to indicate that the joystick is activated. On the front of the joystick lever is a switch to control the transmission direction, forward, neutral, and reverse. 2 buttons located on top of the joystick are used to shift the transmission. Pressing the left button will downshift or lower the top gear in the automatic mode. The right button upshifts or raises the top speed in automatic. The forward button honks the horn. Using the joystick to steer is intuitive. Move the lever to the right and the loader articulates to the right. Release the lever and it returns to the center position and articulation movement stops. Move the lever to the left and the loader articulates to the left. One point to remember is that turning the steering wheel overrides the joystick movement. In this demonstration, the operator is moving the joystick to the left and the steering wheel to the right. Because the steering wheel overrides the joystick, the unit turns to the right. For ventilation, the right windows can be opened individually. If cross-ventilation is desired, the left window or left door can be locked open. To maintain a solid handhold while exiting the machine, the door should be released from the lowest step from which the latch can be reached. This concludes the cab and controls portion of this video. It's recommended that you review and understand the operator's manual to become more familiar with the machine's controls and features before operating.